Step over
Hang on
here.
a sec. I want to say to you that, you're behind the curtain, you're not seeing any of that. You will find with today, the energy of the people who, were doing that today. The oming sound is going to be like some sort of like thing inside of there, because you'll know the minute you hear this kind of crowd doing it, you're going to be doing one of the highest masses you've ever done, because there was so much power in the, it's going to be cool for you. Remember, you don't see anything. You'll get it.
So then I would step over here and admit them if
Right.
they were actually outside.
Right.
And if
Open
that-
the door, go back to
and
your place.
I would come
No,
back.
no, back here. Nope, over. Just walk right back here.
They have to come this way.
No. First, I'll be you.
They're
I'm gonna
going
be you.
around, remember they're going all the way around.
I'm you.
You're me.
I'm you. Sit down. All right.
Lots of love.
Open.
We'll be doing all the way
Look, you better be glad it's not the other way around. I open the door, I, maybe catch eyes with the one, and go back to my place.
That means
Okay.
the positive child has to close the door.
No, I
The
said,
doorkeeper.
there's gonna be a doorkeeper.
Oh,
Crowley has that in his script.
so I thought you wanted a doorkeeper for there.
It's a doorkeeper for there who is then gonna somehow manage, the doorkeeper for there. Let's say this is gonna be his seat or her seat.
Whoever's
All
sitting
right,
there.
whoever's the doorkeeper. The other thing, we're gonna say this now, the doorkeeper is gonna be what's called in the three-card Monte shell games in New York, is gonna be our shill.
Shill.
Because that's gonna be the person who knows the mass and is gonna know how to do the communion, and who's gonna lead everyone in the communion. So that's the doorkeeper and the shill are one and the same. Hail into the, okay. So you're here. You guys have just walked in, the doorkeeper's closed the door, and you're going to say.
I have a little tip for the priestess though, it's not mandatory. I would always hold this in one hand and keep your hand on the
Oh,
sword.
thank
because
you, you heard me clank it.
Yeah, as you're moving
Well,
through the audience.
on the, it's a
Oh,
weapon.
got it.
It's a weapon,
I got
here.
it.
Bring finger around it.
You're gonna draw.
Not, you don't have to do it, you don't have to like grasp it.
So I'm gonna actually need a script, is that okay?
No, it'll be okay. And I would actually hold it out a little bit, just
Okay.
because he's going to make a gesture like this,
Mhm.
it's closer.
Oh, right, okay.
So it kind of
it's
mirrors it a
symmetry.
little bit.
And it looks more beautiful.
Right.
Remember that everything is happening now. This is something that a lot of people miss. He had it down perfectly when he did the opening, because he was aware of the fact that people were listening to his tone, watching the slowness of his walk, the meditative state, the proclamation, the rest of it. He's very much a dramatist. He's aware of that. You are trying to look beautiful. You're the incarnation of the goddess. So,
Greeting of earth and heaven.
I do not
hang
have
on.
it memorized.
Yeah.
I've been a positive child for all this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Chill out. Here we go.
I'm sorry to be the showstopper.
No, you're not the showstopper. What you are is the trainee priestess.
Yeah, this is why we're all
This
here.
is why we're doing it. There's no point in my doing this for him. He knows it, or her, she knows it, okay? We want you to be doing it. Okay, now, so what are we doing here? The Virgin, you're holding the paten and you say, greeting of earth and heaven.
Greeting of earth and heaven.
And everyone does this to you.
Okay,
All right.
but you're making eye contact with the deacon. And it's up to you when you want that eye contact to be broken. Deacons do not look down,
Mhm.
just as you keep eye contact with the priest. If she's looking at you, you're gonna be looking
Right.
at her.
Okay, and as soon as I take my eyes off and he takes his hands down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you turn around.
And walk up the
Walk
steps.
up the stairs. And place the paten in front of the grant.
Now you, on the other hand, may not need to walk quite that slow if you don't want to.
Okay.
I mean,
And now
you
would
can
do
make it a little
any
more
way
natural.
That you like.
All right, now come down. All right, now Nancy is going to do the, you walk behind Nancy.
Okay.
All right? And hang on a second, we're just have to remember who goes first here, which child?
Positive.
It's just positive.
Okay, so here's how this choreography works. Let's say Nancy is, you're, hang on. Stand right here. Okay, right, all right. Now, you start walking, this is the one priestess. All right, I'm just gonna walk over here. All right, he's gonna stand here.
You guys have to kind of
With
go
his-
a little bit faster.
I have to get 4 officers doing the walk.
Yeah, you've got to follow her closer. You've got to make sure that you're, and then you draw your sword, and I'll let you do it, and then pull down the bit.
Okay, now, let's put your sword away for a sec. Hard, right? Takes a little thought. All right. Why don't you do the priestess and let's work on the walk with them?
Okay.
Because she knows the walk, right? And the walk, by the way, the walk is shown in a magnificent diagram, if I do say so myself, on page 62. Okay? It's complicated, it's precise, it works. Okay? So if you stand a little bit off to the side, and I'm going to sit over here.
The deacon comes here. We'll just do the sequence.
Take it from the
Right.
top,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
So, greeting of earth and heaven. This. And this is such a short temple that you really need to follow right behind me. If it were,
Yeah,
if
see,
it
you've
were
gotta-
a longer temple, then you'd have more time.
Right, and you've got to move a little faster, because even this is not the same temple that you were just working in
I
at
know, I
home,
heard
so,
it behind me
yeah.
though, so
It's
a lot.
really a small temple, but that's cool.
And slippery
Alright.
temple too.
Where do I go with this?
All right, hang on. All right, now, where are they going at this point? This is the part that has been changed ever so slightly. Okay, if you look at the diagram on page 62, the paragraph below it, the negative child stops at the water altar, has been replaced by this commentary. And it's been replaced with the paragraph, the children stand on either side of the altar, of the tomb facing east. So, I'm gonna be you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to
All right, I'm following her. You're following me. I'm getting dizzy.
oh, please.
I don't know, I just keep walking around in circles here. What's going on? Okay. All right, watch me. Or actually, you're holding this stuff.
Facing east, east is the altar.
Huh?
He said facing east, so they'd be facing the altar.
Yeah.
Right.
No, wait.
Yes, he's correct.
I just did that.
I know.
Do it again. All right. I just want you to see the cutting in. Hang on. Okay. First, I see how close I'm following her. she's walking faster than actually is in my normal pace, so I mean,
Right,
but if
and-
she walks slow, I'll walk slow.
And I will walk slow, or tomorrow. They're just done this.
But she's making this wide arc, and I'm walking here and turning like this, holding this. So she is got a straight shot down here, and you have this little extra thing, and now we're all facing east, right? Okay.
Now, would the children be in their positions before she,
No,
Does the
they
veil?
just come in,
They have to catch up.
they just have to catch up? Okay.
yeah,
Very good.
yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna stop that flow of.
Okay.
energy.
Here's what, that, you know, what is your name again?
Jonathan?
Johnson. This is an excellent question, and it's one that is gonna speak to a lot of things that go on for the rest of the day, which is that, again, it's this accent on the wrong syllable stuff. It's like, the most important person in the room right now is her, okay? She's walking up here, she's just gone here, she has made the Kundalini circle, all right? She's really presumably brought up the energy in the room and in herself. She's pulling out the least of her concerns are these two officers.
Mhm.
Her only concern is what's behind the curtain
Mhm.
and pulling the sword and handling the energy that is now starting to course through her body as she's just made this, you know, serpentine motion. So a lot of groups and a lot of instructors have spoken to people about, oh, you know, choreograph it so that the children do this while the deacon is doing that, and this happens to there and that happens to, and they get it wrong. They get it wrong. So, you know, he can catch up.
Mhm.
He's a smart guy. He knows where he's walking.
Can I interject a quick rule of thumb that I use as far as the children and their placement in the temple? You know, the children are always either following somebody or they're stationary somewhere, and whenever they're stationary, whenever I've childed, I square myself with my pillar and with the other child. And if I'm moving up and down, if I'm down there, I try to be in line with the pillar and the other child, and just, you know,
Right.
keeping that square.
You're certainly, the pillars probably, depending on the temple layout, I would say, but
Right.
the other child, absolutely,
Mhm.
without a shadow of a doubt. Hop back up. You're not off for the even. Not your coffee break here, pal.
It's a
All right,
priestess
now I want
question,
you
so
to
I've
do
not
that
had a chance
again.
to
This
really
time
ask
you
it.
be the one that cut it and do it with Nancy. You walk behind Nancy though, okay?
What's your question?
In the serpentine motion.
Wait, you
it's-
know what, Harper, I don't want you to get in the way of
Okay.
Eric,
All
not
right.
Eric. Teddy.
Chris.
All right, yeah, I don't want
Okay.
to, we're gonna do the walk with you one more time separately.
Would you
Okay.
like me in my original starting
Yes.
position?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, he had a question.
First place, we can all sit down if we want,
Yeah.
because this is, you guys, at any time you want, can certainly sit on the steps or relax or whatever. Please do not drive yourself nuts, I'm not trying to torture you. Go ahead.
It's a priestess question, and so I've never been germane to me. But the serpentine motion, most of the priestesses I know have discussed it being a dance.
It's not a.
So I wanted to bring this up. I mean, what's your opinion on
It's
it?
a walk,
It's a walk.
it's a walk.
Okay.
I've seen people belly dance it, I think that's silly. Unless
Okay.
you're really, and I studied dance for, the Middle Eastern dance for 10 years.
Okay.
If I came up and did, this has a lot of energy that you can use in other rituals.
Okay.
But the belly dancing, I've never seen,
Actually-
I've never seen anybody pull it off.
It's invitational, exactly.
Hey, Matt. Tell you what he
But I've
knows.
I've never seen anybody pull it off, appropriately and do the appropriate dance and move the energy the appropriate way.
But the walk can be
The other
sexual.
thing is that the biggest
Yeah.
problem in the Gnostic Mass is keeping your ego out of it, which is one of the
That's-
reasons
yeah.
that we have this different communion than a lot of people have, because the idea is you're trying to subsume your ego to the divine force,
Okay.
you know, and the priestesses that are doing the belly dancing are more concerned with their steps and their motions and how they're doing it than they are with somebody like Nancy, who is focusing on the energy. And she's moving, because of her dance training, she's moving in a way that looks very much more graceful than somebody klutz like me were doing the priestess walk, right?
Okay.
But she's not, she's not egoing out on it.
Sure.
Right, I've actually never seen a priestess do a full kind of belly dance like what you were describing.
Oh, we have.
Actually, okay, I just haven't. That's why I asked, because I've heard them discuss it before, where they were talking about
Right.
the Kundalini and how the movement should be.
You know, the thing, my rule
And-
of thumb for the priestesses that I supervise and for, actually for the priest also, it's like you can't have a preconceived notion of how you're gonna do things. I mean, you can know your gestures, you
Right.
know, but it'd be impossible, you cannot come out and say, okay, I'm going to project this, and I'm going to do it this way, and everybody will think this about, I want everybody to feel this way about it, because you can't really have any preconceived notion of what, because it's not about you or about what you want, or it's just about, you gotta like leave all of that
I
behind.
kind of feel like the Mass has a will of its own too.
It does.
Yeah, it
So
does.
I'm interested
And you just have to
in
surrender to it.
in
Yeah, you gotta
agreeing
surrender
with
to
that
it, you
will,
gotta-
Right.
you've
doing
got
what the
to
Mass
incorporate
wants
the energy of
and
the
not doing what it
congregation.
doesn't want.
And
Right.
where they are,
Crow,
I've gotten really high, just kind of walking around the temple from the
right.
energy of the congregation. I've also been, it's just, there's just a lot of different factors there. You can't project your will really into the ritual.
Okay. That actually answers a lot of my questions.
Crowley talks about the magician in the successful invocation being an automaton, and in the middle of the circus, a mindless automaton having like lost himself to the deity, in the circle. And, we're not doing that obviously because we're conducting a stylized, dramatic invocation, but we're letting go of ourselves. The key is the less there is of you in the circle, the more there is of the goddess if you're the priestess, or the god if you're the priest.
Okay.
And what breaks the circle is phony baloney.
Yeah.
Like nothing
Totally.
phony.
I had a question.
Yes, sir.
And by the script, it starts out that's the Virgin. So in doing the movement around the altar, is that the point where she would be embodying, like the more pure virginal element of femininity?
This is sort of like the Thelemites dancing on the head of the pen stuff that I don't care about.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd really rather stay on the mechanics.
Well, in other words, what's going to happen is you're going to work with a priestess, all right? She's going to feel it. The two of you are going to go and discuss it maybe after the ritual or something. What we say here today is just us babbling.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect your practice. Or, Johnson and his priestess may come up with a slightly different conclusion than you and your priestess, which may be slightly different than Nancy and me. It all works.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that a lot of times, most of the time when I'm right before Mass, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I get so nervous because, and that's something else.
You're
that I-
actually admitting that?
Yeah, and that's something else that and I feel awkward and weird, and that's something else that I have to leave behind. It doesn't matter what I feel like, I can feel like, oh yes, I'm going to go protect the goddess, or I think I'm gonna throw up now. It doesn't matter. It
Bobby
really
asked
doesn't
us if
matter.
we would talk to him and his wife about, or fiance about their wedding tomorrow before the Mass, and I said, which side of my projectile vomiting would you like to be on? You know what I mean?
How about
No. Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right, I think you need to, does she need to stand behind me now, or?
No, I don't want her to get in, I want Chris to make that cut, and then we're gonna do the walk one last time with you and Harper alone.
Okay. Okay, so we've done the greeting of the birth in heaven, I'm coming down the stairs now. Okay.
Great, see, that was beautiful. And you're following good, well, great, Chris. Okay, Joy is just, how come Joy doesn't need any directions? She's like this perfect.
Wait a second.
You said that.
I know, I had to do it, sorry. Beautiful, beautiful.
Looks like she's almost
All right, and she's gonna be slower with that than
Yeah.
you just saw.
Yeah, no, I'll be much.
You'll have more
much-
time
Hopefully.
to get into position tomorrow than she just gave you to indicate. All right, now, next big part of it. He's sitting there like that. Oh, do it one more time, please. Just do the walk alone with Harper. All right. And again, Harper, you're gonna look at page 62 and work this out in your living room or something, but just get the feel with Nan's.
Yeah, sure.
Feeling better.
Not quite dead yet.
This is a backwards tempo.
Okay, now you're back here. So you're gonna pull your sword. Your eyes are closed. Okay. Now you're gonna stand in front of him. No, you're holding the sword, yeah. Well, you don't have to do it two hands. I'm sorry, I thought I saw you putting this away, but I made a mistake. You're gonna stand in front of him. Okay. And now you're going to say, you're gonna make a cross. Do you wanna help her with this? Go ahead.
And say, by the power of iron,
By the power of iron,
I say unto thee, arise.
I say unto thee, arise,
In the name of our Lord the Son,
in the name of our Lord the Son,
and of our Lord,
and of our Lord,
that thou mayest administer the virtues to the brethren.
that thou mayest administer the virtues to the brethren.
So, can I ask a question about crosses? Because I've seen it where the priestess, when she makes the crosses, she will make one here, she'll make one here, and one here
Right.
in that succession. And then as she goes with the water, she does the same, and with the censer of incense, she does the same.
Right, and the directions in, when you go to purify with the
Right.
water, is over forehead, breast,
Right.
and then body.
Okay.
But I don't think it says
So
that.
it's like the
No.
entire body and not just the...
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right. It says forehead, breast, and body. Pull your sword. All right, now, I'm gonna give you the lines. Can you read, you have your glasses? All right, you don't have glasses? All right.
By the power of iron,
All right, now, you, go ahead, all right?
I say unto thee, arise,
All right, you open your eyes.
On the
Okay.
lines.
Yeah,
in the name of the Lord,
Our
our
Lord.
Lord
the sun.
the Son, and of our Lord, that thou mayest administer the virtues to the brethren.
Okay, now, move back a little bit like this and sheathe your sword. Remember? There you go. Ha ha.
Martial arts.
Martial arts. Okay. Now you, oh, you've got that thing in front of you. All right, you're gonna make the first 3 regular steps. So what you're gonna try to do is you're gonna try to step out of here. You're gonna step out with your left foot and bring your right foot like that.
Oh, I see.
So go back.
Just like the,
And I would
Yeah.
recommend
Motion.
you take short, regular steps.
Yeah, short regular steps indeed. All right,
but
so
is it
pop
3
one.
steps or 3?
All right, now bring your right foot. There you go. That's 1 step.
Mhm.
All right, now go forward.
1, 2 more.
All right, good. Now that's called temple stepping. So you hand her the lens. Let me do it.
Okay.
All right. Zeitlin is absolutely right. You're here, you hand this to her, all right? And you make the penal signs against the stele. You're absolutely right.
And when you advance, you want to be focused on the stele, right?
Right.
The 3
right.
regular
You're-
steps, you're just
Exactly.
in the
You're
stele.
coming out of here and your focus, that your entire focus should be right here. Okay?
It's infinity.
The stele. Okay? So, you're coming out, you got this very, weird walk and everything and all that stuff, and you're getting over that thing, but you're focusing there. You're handing this to her with your left hand. You're not even looking at her necessarily at that point. You're doing your signs. All right? And you're making a vow. What are you doing by giving the penal signs to there? You're committing yourself to the ritual. saying if I screw this up, my throat be cut, my heart be open, my belly be pierced, you know, come back and do it one more time. You go, start from the, you know, in the belly button, to the right, down, and then back to the belly button. Then that total focus is on this belly, all right? She is peripheral, okay? She's actually on a certain level still peripheral, but you're going to kneel here and worship the Lamb. You're still holding, right, good. All right. What you're doing, the lens, again, is pointing up. You are on becoming aware of your unworthiness to be the person doing the ritual, because you've just made this promise that you're going to do it to the best of your ability before the Stele of Revealing, which is your holy symbol. Then all of a sudden you come here, now what have I gotten myself into? You know, because here's this thing extending up in perfect symmetry, right? In perfect balance in terms of making the ascension. You know, and here you are, this loser who has just been screwing up your morning probably, and arguing with your wife or your girlfriend, or, you know, screaming in traffic, or, you know, not paying your cell phone bill on time, God knows what. This is the self-suggestion that Zeitlin was talking about. Getting your enthusiasm. All right, so you go down, be down there, you're worshiping the lambs. So then, now, let me ask another question. I didn't need to do this while you're on your knees, but do you guys have a musician?
What we've been doing is drumming, hand drumming, and you know, light during vertige, and you know.
If you want to do that, that's great. Don't use recorded music, okay? But there's a call here for penitential music, so whatever, okay? Now,
I'm sorry, what's the difference between penitential and potential?
penitential means
To be
sorry.
penitent. To be penitent?
Penitent.
Okay. I just had never, I always, yeah.
It's penitent because he realizes he's a loser and he is trying to imitate a holy man. He's got his hands on a lance, which is the absolute, you should get the lance straight. It's not there, there you go. You gotta help him, Mark. The lance is going directly to the Lord, all right? It's the awakened Kundalini, it's whatever it is. But, you know, it's making the ascent in perfection. He's this unworthy being who's trying to pretend to be as upright as the lance. So it's penitent. He's a penitent. He realizes he's not worthy.
I just had always missed that.
It's kind of the symbol of the human tragedy.
Right, exactly. Okay. So then, Joseph, you're going to make the statement, I am a man among men.
I am a man among men.
Right. In other words, you are one unworthy being among a whole lot of other of us, all right? And then it says you take the lance, again the lance, now you're taking it, you let go, and you lower it, which means you sort of tilt it over to the side, which you're going to be very careful, you're going to be conscious of your space, don't touch the floor. And then put it back up, and now stand. And then you're going to say, how should I be worthy?
How should I be worthy?
To administer the virtues to the brethren. How do you solve the problem that you have just become painfully aware of as you were kneeling and holding the lance? You know, how do you possibly solve that problem? Well, that's what she's there for, okay?
Can I ask you a quick question here, Jim? On this section, let me show you what I've been doing and see how you feel about it. So, all that's been done. I am a man among men. Sorry. How should I be worthy to administer the virtues to the brethren?
Okay, you
That's
know,
just-
whatever. It-
Okay,
You know, it's fine.
I just wanted to run that by you because I know that this was a very specific part for you. And
Right, no, that's
I
fine.
feel that like the standing up,
What, you know, it's whatever is going to get your juices flowing with this thing is
that makes me completely juicy every time.
great. Okay.
Thanks.
What is this?
Go ahead. Want to come here or?
I'm sorry, you put me in a place where I'm allowed to ask questions, and I will talk your ear off. But I myself, and I've seen other priests touch the lance actually to the ground.
Not if you're using mine.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. But I've seen another priest, an ordained priest actually, touch it to the ground and stand up with it staying touched to the ground. And
I find that repulsive, but that's purely my aesthetic, and it's got nothing to do with what you do. But if you're ever doing it using my lens, you will not touch it to the floor. How's that?
No, that's fine. That actually answers some questions for me. So.
Well, hold on. Now, I'm sorry. Beyond personal preference, isn't that an issue of proper magic?
No. This is where you start getting crazy. No.
Well, I have a question. What is the symbolism of lowering the lance?
Did you guys drive in here?
That's right. We sat opposite each other so we could get you some good things.
You know, that's an interesting question, and I don't really know the answer. But if I was thinking about it, maybe what I would think is that, maybe I'm taking a little bit of, let me just see here. Maybe I'm taking a little bit of control of the situation. In other words, maybe what I'm doing is saying, okay, in other words, you're standing up straight, you're pointing to the top. You're giving me a sense of unworthiness. You're making me feel that I am a man among men. How can I be worthy to do this? But what if I say to you that we need you to come down here and give us a hand? What if you need to take what's up here and bring it down here?
Okay.
Why I don't touch it to the ground is just a matter of aesthetics.
No, that's right.
I interpret the turned lance too as just kind of a symbolic representation of what I'm saying. I'm a man among men. I'm involved in the world. So I'm pointing to the world, but I'm also trying to transcend that and administer the virtues to the brethren,
Right.
which are upright again.
You're trying to be worthy to administer the virtues to the brethren.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is the beauty of this slightly new set of children's stuff that you'll see in the correction stuff, which replaces the material in the book on pages, whatever they are, 66 to 68. But in any case, and this is something, all right, let's go a little bit further. So you're going to take the water and the ewer from the child. You're going to go over to the water table or water altar. All right, put them down. All right. Pour the water into the font. Okay, now remember this font could either be set in or like that. And now you're going to take the salt and you're going to take 3 pinches and you're going to follow what he says. Let the salt of earth.
Let the salt of earth admonish the water to bear the virtue of the great sea.
Now you genuflect. Now you can't do it there. You're going to bang. Well, all right. Can you get over there? Okay, cool. No, that's not genuflecting. That's kneeling. Genuflecting. Yeah, that's genuflecting. Okay. And then you're going to say.
Mother, be thou adored.
Okay. Show her how you do it.
Okay, think about what you're doing.
Okay.
So I've got the ewer and the salt. Pour the water in. Take a pinch of salt. Let the salt of earth admonish the water to bear the virtue of the great sea. Mother, be thou adored. Okay, and then you
take this water and pour it back into the ewer. And then make your 3 crosses on the priest.
Again, you know what you're doing is you're making your words the truth. When you say, Mother, be thou adored, you're not reading something, you're really adoring the Mother.
So should I, like,
Now,
is there a
this,
directionality?
I think you're gonna find it a lot easier to work in front of them that way. That's the directionality. All right. And then, you're going to, hang on. Go ahead.
Okay.
This is whole hand, right? Not with the.
Yeah, you're just gonna get your hand wet. Okay, and then say, and you make 3 crosses over forehead, breast, and body.
No, no, okay. All right, you don't have to touch them. I think you could if you want after your experience, but since you're not now, do it like this. Be the priest, pure, see they're getting larger, of body and soul. Okay?
You don't do 3 splashes?
She can if she wants. Okay.
When I
And we
actually
need every
touch
hand.
them, do I go around the lens?
No, are you, why are you touching
Yeah.
it?
Oh, it's,
You don't need to.
I have seen it where the lance is a little bit off to one side and it's.
We try to keep the lens
Straight down the middle.
as possible. That's why we don't do the touching. But if
Okay.
you want to do the touching, you can. But I'm saying, why don't you try it first without and just see how that
The
works.
touching's not that important.
You're working with his aura, you're not working with his body.
Okay.
All right?
That's what I needed to do, thank you.
Yeah, you're sorry. How do you think I
So we've done the 3 crosses, right? Be the priest, pure of body and soul. Okay, and then you just return that to them. Okay, now you walk around and take the incense from the fire truck. You just come on back, it's probably.
Up this side.
Oh, yeah, you have to go, yeah, that's right, you have to go.
Wait,
Where's the censer?
where's the perfume?
Oh.
Hiding in here.
No, he's all back. No, I just, you know, I can tell, now the 3 of you guys are making a triangle. The conspiracy grows.
Who's got the ball?
And actually,
Switch every
because
time,
I
I'll turn
am
the
such a
children back.
spazzo, this lid is gonna be on.
Right,
So
the
you
lid-
do the same thing, but you do just 2 pinches of incense, okay? And then you would say, let the fire in the air,
Let the fire and air,
and let the fire and the air, it's the elements, it's not actually fire and air.
let the fire and the air make sweet the world.
Okay, then you genuflect.
Good with the sword. Very good, Harper. You really have that down
Okay.
nice.
Father,
Father, be thou adored.
good, come on up.
Now, this is where it's going to be hard if you're using one of these sensors, so take your time.
Yeah.
You're going to feel under pressure.
The thing is, just take, even though you might feel shaky and under pressure and nervous, just breathe and take your time. Nobody's gonna notice. I would go around. In fact, I would just, you
Oh,
know,
yeah?
I would just instead, because I won't be standing there right in front of you, just go that way, yeah. And it's the same, you just 3 crosses as before. And again, you're not gonna be able to smack them in the head with the incense, so, you know.
Yeah, that'll be,
It's be the priest fervent of body and soul, so do 3 crosses as before and just
be
say.
the
Be
priest
the
fervent
Priest fervent
of
of
body
body
and
and
soul.
soul.
Okay, and make sure that you're doing your crosses symmetrical, straight,
Mhm.
okay. Right, okay.
And
Then you take the incense back to the
positive. Let's see what's happening. You're off the steps.
Would be grabbing the robe, so.
Not yet. Move your hands like this.
So you
Alright.
walk over.
You walk over to there, back to there.
Okay, and turn around and look at the deacon. Who's
Now you go.
Yeah.
You wait for her to do that. Remember, every sub-officer is waiting on the priest or priestess at any time in the whole room. It's beautiful. And now you go up the center of the steps and you grab the robe, which is actually under the crown. The robe is under the crown, so you have to move the crown first and set it aside. Now take the robe, okay? You start walking to him, to meet him. Make eye contact.
Make eye contact, and then
Okay.
back, and I still have, well, you don't use a cushion at all, do you?
No.
So I just hand her the robe.
Right, no, you're not doing that yet, you're backing up to here, here,
Okay.
this side, on the rope. Remember, you're gonna do that on the crown. All right, you come back here.
And this is where it gets really kind of complicated because you're trying to put, you know, he's like sitting there like a lump of clay, like he is, and you need to put the robe on him. So one arm at a time, okay? Usually it's a regular robe, and you don't
And
really.
you're gonna hold the, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, however you're comfortable, he may be backed against the tomb, in which case he won't have that room to walk around.
Or he may not, but the
Yeah.
thing is, and the robe may be a different design, it may not have sleeves, it may be more like a cape. Different
Right.
people do it different
Different
ways.
ways,
It may
yeah.
be the sort of thing that you're putting over his head and just draping.
It's
It
something
can
well
be
worth
whatever it is, but
practicing.
there are some,
With whatever it is.
what do you do?
It's just something well worth practicing if you
Yeah.
have, you know,
This
whatever
is
you have,
something you
practice
absolutely
that.
must practice with the actual priestess, and there are certain guidelines. The guidelines for you, and this is the guidelines throughout the whole ritual, is everybody is nervous when they're performing in public. So the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to be over here trying to get, you know, the incense burner, and the chains aren't going to quite match, and you're going to feel the pressure to run back there to get it, and then all of a sudden you're going to go like this, and the thing is going to be hanging and looking stupid. So you don't want to do that. You want to take your time, and you want the pressure that you feel, the impatience and the pressure that you feel to perform. You want to use that to make the gesture proper. Then you're going to come back. We'll have a perfectly balanced thing, and you're going to make the crosses. Then when you, it's the same with this thing. You're going to feel, first place it's awkward, you know. If you have a 5-year-old, maybe it's not awkward, but it's going to be awkward to be dressing him, especially since he is trying to hold on to the lance with both hands. So there will be times when he'll give that up to help you. So if there's a sleeve on the robe, he will take his hand off, but he's going to hold that one. He may even move it aside. If you're going to move it, don't do it like this. Don't move it like that. Move it like this.
Keep it
you know. But you should try to also keep it in front of you as much as possible. So it's going to be awkward. You're going to feel pressure. It's going to feel it's taking too long. It will. But remember that if at the end of the thing, you know, he's looking like this, you've made him look like an idiot for the rest of the thing, and he'll return the favor by not properly closing the veil, because he'll feel under pressure, and then you're going to look like an idiot. So you guys got to work together, okay? And you have to overcome your anxiety, and you have to remember that your purpose here is to elevate the audience, the congregation, and they will only be elevated if his garment is on properly. Okay. So come back over here, and if you can walk, you know, every temple is different, every amount of space between here is going to be different, every robe is different. You need to work with the priest that you're doing this with. Okay? Now, you finish that, and you say,
Be the flame of the sun, thine ambience, thou priest of the sun.
oh, thou priest of the sun.
O thou priest of the sun.
Okay. Now, you're going to start, when he here, you're going to turn again, make eye contact with him. He's going to go walk up the steps. You're going to kind of wait there. He's going to pick up the crown. He's going to come down. As he comes down, you're going to walk up to join him. Again, you're going to take it.
And at this point,
He's going to come to the center. You're turning around. Now you're putting on the crown. Now, if you thought the robe was a pain in the ass, wait till you try to put the crown on. Because remember that this time he's going to, at certain points in the ritual, he may throw his head back. You have to make sure that the crown is on steadily.
And it's helpful to lean
Capital
forward
maintenance.
for the priestess.
Right.
To,
And that's the other thing, as Eric just said, there's this cap of maintenance thing in here, which makes it more difficult to, so you cool? All right, and then you're gonna say,
Be the serpent thy crown, O thou priest of the Lord.
okay, now you're gonna kneel. And you're going to run your hands up and down the lance 11 times, and you're gonna start from the bottom. Because it, no, don't go over his hands.
Okay.
Just start, yeah, go ahead.
And
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and up. Arms up. No, you're down. Look, first place you're gonna actually touch the left, right? That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now throw your arm, and then you say,
Be the Lord present among us.
everyone is standing, and we're all gonna say with Zeitlin leading, whatever we
So
say
mote
here.
it be.
So mote it be. All right, now,